Well, it's a soggy day.
It is a soggy day over here, so we've had a bit of a challenge trying to work out how to not get our camera wet. But here we are, because getting ourselves wet is great fun, right?
Yeah.
So once again, get out there no matter what the weather, no matter if it's cold, snowy, wherever you are, get out there. So today's activity is great for a few things. One of them is
Observation skills, like looking, observing.
the other one is memory. And another great benefit of today's activity is the ability to strategize and work out the best way, an inventive way to get to the end result.
Yeah.
So today's activity is, let's back to front, treasure hunt.
Yeah.
An outdoor treasure hunt.
So
And-
we created a list of things to do, things to collect in our outdoor treasure hunt before we started. So
And of course, if you've got kids, make the list with your kids. So have a look at, make it achievable for your area and make a list of a few things. That's interesting how it's back to front. Anyway, you get the drift, right? Of things that are available in the space that you want to go to.
yeah, and also, if your kids aren't quite at reading age yet, use the words and symbols together so that they're getting that words mean something, like, and write in the colour green for something, green for instance.
So this is our list, right? So this is a narrow leaf. I'll read it out. This is a great exercise at being able to read backwards, right? Totally unplanned. So a narrow leaf and a picture of a leaf. Something blue, and you might write that in blue or have the colour. A flower. A mineral like a rock or sand. And if your kids are younger, then I'm trying to get the list up there. If your kids are younger, then you can talk about, what's a mineral or what's organic or...
Yeah, and they get to experience it with their bodies too, so it creates meaning. Okay, a rock, a mineral, I've got it in my hand, so it's meaningful.
Rest of the list, something rough or something smooth. Again, getting to that feeling, tactile feeling in their hand. I've got a Y-shaped, I'm going to hold it on this side, a Y-shaped stick, right? A seed pod, a feather or fluff, and a sense of fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the list that we made up of stuff that's available around where we are. So that's step number one, make your list. Then
Creating a container for the game. Like, you can have the game as a timed activity. How many of these things can you find in 15 minutes? And set your phone alarm so it sounds in 15 minutes or whatever. And that's also giving your kids a sense of time and timing and appreciation of how long 15 minutes is.
Or you can set a timer, a stopwatch, and see how long it takes everybody to collect all the things, okay? You can break up into teams if you've got a family of 4 or more, or if your kids are really young.
And that's great for learning how to work together to achieve a common goal.
That's right, because you might decide that both people in the team go together, so they find the one thing faster, or you split up and one person does half the list and the other person does the other half.
What do we call that? Divide and conquer?
Divide and conquer. Strategizing, I'd call it that.
Yeah. Yeah, or it could be that just, whoever finds everything first is the winner and maybe gets a prize of some kind.
For
If
sure.
you like that.
So that's number 2, work out how you're going to do this. Is it going to be timed or in a particular space? Does there have to be an area marked out in which you've got to find all these things? Whatever works for you, and it depends on the age of your kids, and you can see how all of the activities we'll be doing, you can adapt to kids from 2 up to 22, right? You can make it as easy or as hard as you like.
And for older kids, perhaps it's maybe one look at the list and then go off and find all those things, so they're developing those memory skills. Or maybe the list is in a place where people have to come back to check
Right.
the list.
Exactly, so they have to hold 1 or 2 or 3 items in their memory while they go and find them, and then if they forget what's next, it means they have to use time to come back to the list, right? So again, strategy, what's going to serve them better. And, a container for the treasures, right?
Yeah, so when we went out looking for treasures, we just had a couple of little bags. Another idea is to an old egg carton, and I've done these activities with kids before when I've actually painted the egg carton first with the kids, or got the kids to paint the egg carton first, so that a blue thing goes in the blue hole, a red thing goes in the red hole, however you want to do it.
So these are our treasures from our list that we collected earlier. Getting slightly wet, but not too wet. It stopped raining. So yes, go out and find treasures in your area or somewhere where you want to go today. Now, was there something else that we wanted to add? I wanted to talk about the benefits a little bit more, okay? Because all of these activities are really simple. You could call them old-fashioned, off-screen activities, but the benefits to the brain, the learning and the development are enormous. So I'll just recap what we've already said. So the fact of feeling things, observing what's in nature, and really developing that sense of vision and focus. Okay, so vision is when we open up our field of view, so that, say we're looking for something blue, our kids, or we might have to open up our field of view, and then when we get to an area where we might see it, then we have to focus in on it. Or if we're looking for a leaf, we'll open up and see where are the trees, right? And then we have to focus, narrow in our vision, to find the trees with the particular shaped leaf.
Could be a fat leaf, a skinny leaf, but specify the leaf so that amongst all the leaves, the kids have to focus in on a particular kind of leaf.
Exactly. So build in as much specificity as you can and as much detail as is appropriate for your kids. Okay, so for younger kids, of course, there'll be less, but for older kids, you can really set the challenge. It has to be a black rock, or it has to be a particular shaped rock, or whatever it is. So that's it. Go forth and
not to mention that it's just physical exercise outside while you're treasure hunting. Just that physical mobility and moving around, using our bodies to undertake a mission.
And the great thing is that because we're not focusing on the exercise, it's not like, oh, I'm going to go for a jog. We're actually focusing on finding things. So the exercise is actually coming in through the side door. We're not. It's not difficult, right? It comes effortlessly. And because if we're timing ourselves, then we might even run around finding these things,
right.
And we don't even notice that we're running because we're focusing on winning the challenge.
And to keep the kids engaged, make sure you're participating in the activity and having fun with it.
Definitely. That's the key. Make sure you take part as well. So have fun, and I'd love for you to comment down below. Maybe even put up a photo if you're comfortable with that. Put a photo of your treasures or of your kids, your family, and let us know where in the world you're doing this treasure hunt. That would be lovely to connect with you on that level. All right, take care, and we will see you again tomorrow for another installment.
Bye.
See you then.